Hello ladies and gents, everything between outside of it. I'm Sophia and welcome back to a new video. I do realize that a lot of people actually don't know what I'm saying, but it's fine. You don't need to know what I'm saying. It's just a little intro. So today we're going to be doing the most average video, just a little what I read in June. So as I said in my June TBR, if you've watched that, what have you been doing? Have you not been binging my videos? In my June TBR, I did say that June was going to be a very busy month for me. So in theory of books, I read a lot, but in theory of pages, I didn't. I read 7 books in the month of June, and 5 of them were on my Kindle, and 2 of them were physically, and 1 of them actually like listened to as an audiobook in full. So it was a slow month in terms of getting rid of all these books. But in the beginning of the month, I stayed home, I think for 2 days, because I didn't feel great. So I decided, and I didn't feel great, I wasn't that busy yet with school, so I was like, okay, this is my time to shine. So I grabbed my little Kindle and I got down to reading a few little novellas. So the first novella that I read was First Semester. This is a professor ex-student but in university, but this is very short. It only has around 160 pages. I read this over a couple of days on my Kindle and I gave this a 2.75 because the thing is, you know, when smut novellas, like I know that smut novellas are there to be smut novellas. They're not there to be super cute, fun and fun. I'm expecting these two people to have the connection. I'm expecting a little bit of love and to actually feel their like emotional chemistry rather than only their sexual chemistry. I'll tell you my Goodreads review. I'm sorry for anyone that I know that's watching this, but it's on the internet. Anyway, I wrote, wasn't bad, but they're just two horny men. You can't marry her pussy. She did something for him, and they were both really happy, and then immediately they just, like, can't you just like have a little cuddle, maybe go watch a movie and embrace the moment? Because it wasn't like something like sexual that she did for him. It was like a sweet thing. But I really liked the writing style. It was nice, it was fun, and this is a little trilogy, a little smut novella trilogy. So I was like, let me continue. So the second book that I read this month was Second Semester. Easy to remember. So I actually gave this a 4-star, like a 3.75 to 4, because this one, plot was there, connection was there, and the thing is, it doesn't need to be a 350 book for me to like and get a bit of an emotional attachment to the characters. Do I remember a lot of this? No, I don't, but I had such a fun ride. And so this was like father's like best friend. It was actually so cute. Like they talked a lot about a lot more serious things in their relationship, and also about like how to like bring this up to the parents, and it was just a lot more realistic. Because if you're gonna have a relationship like that, it's not gonna be easy. The thing is with these smut novellas, I don't really have much to say since there's, like, it's a very short story. It's like under 200 pages, like, there's not much to say. They're not very, I don't know. You read them and you move on. I don't know, there's just never much to talk about. That's why when I read like a lot of smut novellas in a month, my videos are always a bit shorter just because like I, 1, talk very quick, and 2, there's just not much to say. So then I finished this little trilogy. I'm not sure if another book is coming, but I think there is. And I read Click. And this is part of a trilogy of Glitch, Flip, and Click. The title and all of the books have a very like significant meaning, and it's super cute. They are smut novellas, but in my head, there's so much more. I've enjoyed every single one of them. I thought Glitch was good, and then I read Flip. Flip is still my favorite. Flip is still up there, but I just read Click. This was about like a photographer, like this type of photographer. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm not gonna embarrass myself trying to pronounce it, but she had just broken up with her kind of slightly obsessive boyfriend. That was the whole reason she was getting this photo shoot done, and the photographer, like, she was gonna cancel, and the photographer was like, you know, you can always still come in and do it like as like a little self-love thingy. But then they also meet on this like BDSM like app. It's so fun. Like, it's actually so fun because it's not like your simple boring, you know, there's more going on, there's more to learn, there's more to read about. And again, they had like such an amazing connection, and I felt like there was a lot more going on rather than them just meeting up. Then we're gonna move on to our first actual physical book of the month. I did talk a bit about this in my popular book talk video, but this was the book I did not finish, which was Flawless. I wasn't able to finish this book in the video because I just wasn't in the mood. I was stressed, I wasn't feeling it, and I was like, I have to upload a video, and I'd rather just like talk about this book. Sorry, I have a really bad itch. I'd rather talk about this book now than kind of have a shitty video or whatever. And this is a very popular book. This is a very popular book. The whole series, the whole Chestnut Spring series, has gotten very popular. And I'm still a bit confused on what to think of this, because in theory, I liked it a lot. I like the characters, I like the setting, I like the dynamics, but because I was in such a slump, and I wasn't in a slump that I wasn't reading, I was in a slump that I just didn't like reading. Because I know if I'd read this now or any other time, I think I would have enjoyed it so much more, and I feel that's a bit of a waste. I feel like this had so much potential, and I feel like I skimmed too much because I just wanted to read something and get it over with and finish a book because I was so sick of myself being so slow with everything. And I feel like that's why I might have missed a lot. I feel like that's such a shame. But I do want to continue the series. I'm probably going to order the rest of the books on Amazon because they have them on Amazon. Like, they have Heartless, I think, for only 12 euros. But what I did really like is that they didn't immediately jump into things. It takes them a while to admit that they like each other and to actually like get into that. And I really just want to give the series another chance because I just feel like I was in the right mindset. So I do give this a 3.5 and I want to give it so much more. Then I've read 2 more books on my Kindle, and then I read the last physical book of the month. I read The Good Lie, and I actually started this I think in like April on my Kindle. I kept seeing this on TikTok, so I was like, I'll start it, and then I got I think 20 pages in, and then I started reading a different book. I never took it off my Goodreads, and then I was really stuck on what to read, and I saw that I still had to download it on my Kindle. I still wanted to finish it. I wanted to kind of get it out of my Kindle library, off my Goodreads, like, you know, off my currently reading, because I didn't want to DNF it because the story sounded good. Like, I was always planning on continuing it. I went back like 10 pages because I vaguely still knew what it was about, but not 100%. And then I started back up, and I did read this relatively quickly as well. Definitely had an interesting twist, and I did like the characters a lot. It was a relatively short one. I think it was like 270 pages or something. I really liked the main character. Like, she was a queen. I loved her. Yeah, the story definitely kept me on my toes towards the end, but it's just like a simple like 3.5. Like, it was nothing brain shattering, nothing that hurt my brain. And then the last non-physical book that I read was Wanting Knox. If you watched, I think it was like in March or something or whatever, I read the first 2 books in this series, or first 3 actually, and then I knew that this one was gonna come out, and it's like 50 pages, and like I'd already started the series and I didn't know what to read, and I just wanted to like have like one more book. I decided to read this one quick sitting, nothing special. I'm actually not gonna say anything about this because there's nothing to say. I think it's like a simple like 2 stars. Like, there wasn't really anything special about this. No, it was like brother's best friend, I think. So there's a lot of tension in that. It really wasn't much. So that was that. And then the last book that I read this month was disappointing. This was actually a physical book that I read. So I don't know why I'm holding it like this. You Let Him In. I read this as an audiobook because I was studying. But I wasn't like studying. I was making notes and like summaries, and I usually listen to music, and I can listen to the music like properly without having to like focus too much. So I was like, oh, maybe an audiobook works. And I did read this in 2 days. Like, this was an 8-hour audiobook, and I think I did like 2 hours and like 6 hours on one day. Like, it was mental. But the only reason I kept listening is because it was so simple, because literally nothing was going on. This was 290 pages. Not much, but something can be going on. I'll tell you what the story's about. So this girl, she marries this guy. This guy's killed in a hit and run. She's never had a good relationship with her mother-in-law. From like chapter 2 to like the second last chapter, it's literally all her and her mother-in-law fighting. Basically, every single person in this entire book was pissing me off. Everyone was being so clueless and stupid. The twist was so predictable. There was this one guy, and he kept being like, my demons are making me do this. Literally every single time his POV came on, it was literally like he would actually say my demons. If you can't tell, this book irritated me a little bit. There kept being lines repeated. It was just so repetitive, and I'm like, it's such a short book. How can you make it that repetitive? Bunch of poopy people. Like 1.5 to 2. Sorry for the yelling. I'm just not gonna say anything anymore. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm sorry if I was a bit aggressive. If you have any opinion, if you want to say anything about the books I've read, or any of the books you want me to read, let me know. If you have video ideas, all that stuff, all that jazz. Go follow me on my book talk and my bookstagram, because I feel like people are not aware that I have a bookstagram. Like, book talk, yeah. Bookstagram, not sure. If you're still watching, comment this emoji, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Fucking book, man.